Yo, cuz, say what up to the people.
Oh, what up? What's going on? we live, man. At 8.3. We in the building.
That right. V.O.I.C.E.S.
V.O.I.C.E.S. We here.
Y'all see the vision over there.
Henson. Yeah, we got my man Jo3 H3nson in the building.
Already.
I'm here doing tech support, man.
Right. L.A.M.E is the movement.
L.A.M.E movement.
I'll be that. I'll do that.
I'll be that. I'll be that.
Alright. Let me know when you're ready.
So where y'all need me to be at? Yeah, I can be right there. I can be right here.
Yeah.
Somebody else gonna be right here or what?
Chris usually sit right there, but if you need to sit right there, you
sit
can.
right there though for
This
the camera.
is the way. I'm just trying to figure out where I need to be.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
It's whatever.
Would it be better for the camera though?
Yeah. If she gonna be over there, yeah.
I got all y'all in it, really.
Oh, okay,
Yeah.
that's fine.
Yeah.
But he'll be like.
Yeah, and I don't need to be ducked off.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I need to be up front.
That's fine.
Put your jacket over here with fit, so you know, for the
Right.
feng shui. You
All
know what I mean?
Appreciate that.
Yeah.
So I need to put headphones on and all that?
You ain't got to.
Cool.
Yeah.
Run it. I'm gonna stand up.
That's fine. Alright, we about to go on. Y'all ready?
I'll see.
You can stand, you can sit, you can lay down if you want to, whatever.
Trying to get right in position. My bad. I had a technical difficulty and that threw me off.
Oh, you did.
Having a troubleshoot.
Alright.
Just hit the top of that little cord. You look at it. It do. Remember now, I'm about to tell you to do a certain amount of time. You know, it's gonna break the clips down, but now just when you hit record, you just keep it running. Cause I know with the Canon it'll cut off.
Alright, I'm ready. Y'all ready?
Yeah, I'm ready.
Hey, Southwest Georgia. You are now locked into Voices on your community radio station, WUTU 88.3, where we are bringing you the best in community
And old school classics.
That's right. I'm your host, Nexus.
Cousin Chris, what up?
That's right. And today we have another great show lined up for you, all right?
We know y'all been missing us, man.
I know it's been so long. It feels like forever, right?
Yeah.
Nevertheless, we have, like we said, another great show lined up for you today. Coming back after the holidays. We'll talk a little bit about why we've been MIA, and then we'll go on into
unforeseen circumstances.
Right. When nature calls.
Yes.
You know, that's all we can say.
And we're not talking about Ace Ventura.
At all.
Unfortunately.
No funny business.
None. Even though, you know, we like to have a lot of fun on the show, it's some serious stuff been going on, so we've been absent. But before we get into it, I want to let everybody out there listening know that we're always wanting to hear from you. So the number to call in, as always, is 229-434-1010. That's 229-434-1010. All right.
Mm-hmm.
If you're listening via social media, then you can call in as well, because we know you're out there watching. All right. So today we have in the studio with us Albany's own Mr. Jo3 H3nson, alright, aka Carlo. That's how I know him.
Monty.
Can't leave the Monty off the front, right?
Don't do that.
Alright. So Carlo, if you would tell the people a little bit about yourself and you know what it is that you're currently doing.
Well, I'm born and raised in Albany. I'm Albany, 2 L's. Albany, born and raised. 31, finna be 32 February 4th.
Uh-oh.
Thank God. Like, man, it's just, I'm just been living, man. Living and prospering. Like, you know what I mean? Like, the most important thing in life to me is growth. And that's, I've been doing a lot growing. Like, if I think about who I was a year from now, it's like, damn, that was me. Like, I don't,
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't recognize my old self.
Shoot, a few months.
Yeah. For real. Like, daily thing for me, like, with the growth, like, daily, especially spiritually. So I just been working on myself and also working on putting together the best album Albany has ever released.
Man.
The best album to come out of Albany.
And I think he might have a valid point right there, you
Yeah.
know, because I got a little sneak peek, a little sample,
and that ain't,
you know, and
I'm not trying to be, you know what I'm saying? This ain't ego or macho or nothing like that. It's
just
musically, I'm digging deeper.
And it's funny you say that though, because we're not even trying to like jump the gun, but you know, no, seriously, cause like I got to sample the album and I'm like track after track, and I'm like, well, I told him I like this. Wait, I must have missed that one. Like, hold on, what's going on here and there? And I'm like, hold on, this whole album is just like fire, like good fire, like. Not Dylan, spit hot fire, like, like, yeah. So y'all have, like, when it drops, I'm waiting on the finished production. I already told him, like.
Me too, really. Me too. I've been hearing it rough for so long. I can't wait to hear it mixed and mastered, man. And to get the choir I want, because it's going to have a choir in it. That's what I'm trying to put together.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm trying to go there.
Yeah,
I'm trying to go there.
Okay.
I'm trying to go there. I mean, did my dream? This is, and then on top of that, like in my mind, it God album. You know what I'm saying? So like, I can't play with it.
And when they hear it, they will understand why you say it's God's album.
Right.
Like,
because I mean, you've been working on this for quite some time now.
3 years.
Yeah, I was just about to say, yeah.
Creatively 3 years, but really I've been working on it 31 years.
Ooh.
In essence, yeah.
Boxing with God, battling demons. Hey, okay. Man, I'm telling you, it's just hot, y'all. Southwest Georgia. I'm excited for y'all. I don't know. Okay, but now that we know a little bit about who we have in the studio with us today, just to bring you up to speed real quick, and I know a lot of you know, but just in case you don't, being that we have listeners tuning in from all over, on January 2nd, 2017, right after we get into the new year, there was a reported 31 tornadoes to hit 4 states. All right. Louisiana, Mississippi, Alabama, Georgia, and Texas. All right. And so Georgia, it was recorded that we actually had 6 tornadoes to hit Georgia. And at that time, it was Early County, Mitchell County, Seminole County, Dougherty, and Worth counties. All right. So do know that during all of this, that Albany wasn't the only place hit. All right. So our sister counties, neighboring counties, whatever we want to call them, were just as impacted on the first go round. All right. So in the first series of tornadoes, there was a reported 6 deaths, and that was across all 4 states. All right. And none of them were actually due to the tornadic winds that occurred at that point in time. All right. But then we know recently, between January 21st and the 23rd, which was just this past weekend, there were 29 confirmed tornadoes. Right now, there are a confirmed 20 deaths, 1 missing child, and 80 injured. All right. Search and rescue is still out, trying to recover or see if there are other, bodies still unfound. And in this situation, between the 21st and the 23rd, Hattiesburg, Mississippi, and Albany, Georgia, reported to have taken the hardest of the hits. However, again, not to forget about surrounding counties like Cook County, Adel, Brooks, Berrien, Worth County, Thomas, Calhoun, because most of the deaths that occurred in the most recent event happened within those counties, even though there was major structural damage here in Albany, Georgia. We still didn't face the largest amount of body counts, which is a lot for us to be able to be thankful for.
Because I heard ADL got hit really bad.
Right, they
Cook
did.
County, they got it like just smashed them. It just came through, just barreled through the whole community and just tore everything to pieces. And it's man, I was still getting over
January
the
2nd.
top of the month. Yeah,
Right.
like it was just unreal, you know. And then to come back, not even a whole month later, like a couple of weeks later, you know, and have more bad weather and like what just rip up the city like it did. Like I never really saw this coming. Like we haven't seen this type of severe weather really since like the flood. Really.
Right.
You know,
Of
that just
94.
like really
Yeah.
just devastated the whole community like how it did. And
Right.
to have people like displaced and without water and power and you know, just these basic, like, I really haven't seen this since the flood of 94, 20 something years ago.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, this is just mind boggling just to see these people out here. Like, these people out here, these people don't have anything. Like, these people, like, started from ground zero out here. Like, and it's just, man, I can't, you know, it's people that lost their lives, you know. I don't even think the fatality rate was like that, the flood. You know, I mean, I think some people, you know, did perish, but the number of lives that we're seeing being lost with this latest, you know, weather, you know, storm, it's just, wow. You know, we made the national news, y'all.
Yeah, we did.
You know what I mean? Like, that's...
And like you say, we're accustomed to seeing other cities and towns and states like Oklahoma and other places,
Iowa,
right?
You know,
and for it to hit home, it's like wow. And this time, this most recent event, it hit Louisiana, South Carolina, and Florida to add to the states that were previously impacted. So do know that we're not the only people suffering right now. We're not the only people going through this. So
and I was actually just watching the weather the other day, and it was like they were having bad weather, like even on up the coast.
Yeah.
Like you know, like Maryland, Jersey,
right.
New York, Pennsylvania. It's like this whole system just kind of like went all the way up. Like I don't. It's crazy.
This whole system.
Like,
we're gonna get on that system.
You know, like,
yeah,
but
it is.
It's crazy.
So the most important thing, though, I want to say, Southwest Georgia, is that help is out here.
Yeah,
is people offering any and everything that they have available. So if you are in need, get out of yourself and actually be receptive to receiving the help that you need, because people like never before are showing love, point blank period. I mean, and you know it is right. And it really, like, we've been talking about the Good Life City, like this Albany Strong thing right now. This really just goes to show why certain things need to be taking place. And if you're still wanting to volunteer your time and your services, feel free to reach out to the Samaritan Purse at the old Coca-Cola building on Pine Avenue in Flint. And then you can also, there are a couple of places accept donations. All right, so we have the Red Cross at the Civic Center. They're taking donations. New Seasons in Raleigh White Baptist Church on Phillips Drive in West Albany are taking donations. Pastor Carl White at Friendship Baptist on Pine Avenue, they're taking they're taking donations. Platinum Sound Studio, 523 West Broad Avenue. Shout out to Black and Mario, right? So they're taking donations and giving donations 24 hours until further notice. So if you want to drop off donations, they're there for the next 24, 48, 72 hours, however long they need to be there. And if you need to pick up, you can go and pick up 24 hours as well, all right? Sand Trap 5.0, they are giving out donations, food, clothes, whatever they have. So that's another resource, especially if you've been giving them your money. Now it's for you to reap the benefits,
Okay.
all right? Because you are in need, and they are giving you the assistance that you need.
That's real. Shout out to my girl Jessica out there too, man.
Most def, twin.
Miss Carter, right? Twin, what's up?
Lastly, anybody in need of employment temporarily. Storm debris monitors are needed. Landfall Strategies Incorp. LLC. They are looking for temporary debris monitors. There is a stipend for those willing to assist with cleanup, drive behind debris removal trucks, and just monitor the activity and be able to document loads as well as man disposal sites and inspection towers to make sure that the loads aren't overflowing. All right, they're looking for punctual, professional, reliable individuals who are capable of working independently. All right, so check them out on Indeed.com. All right, so yeah, that's my weather update. Yeah. So I got a question for Carlo.
What's up?
Mr. Jo3 because I heard him say, like spirituality and growing spiritually has been a major thing, and it has been for all of us in the past couple of years and months. And when the first storm hit, a lot of people were like, "Oh, there were no deaths. God trying to tell Albany something, And now again, it's like, y'all better listen. He's trying to tell you, So, how do you feel about those responses in this current situation?
I see where they're coming from. I'm not saying that that's what God doing, because as much as I talk to God, He don't tell me His plan.
Okay.
But I do believe, like wholeheartedly, that this happened to bring us together. I don't know if he trying to, it is trying to tell us what to do exactly, but I do think God is trying to get us to unite. You know what I mean? But at the same time, I had this theory. I was just telling my girl this earlier today, the opposites attract theory. You know what I mean? And we all hear opposites attract, but I don't really think it's the way people think it is. My theory is good breeds bad, bad breeds good. So not necessarily, I like sports and you like fashion, like not saying nothing like that, but it's like every time something bad happens, that's when people come together. And we need that in our business. So the fact that it happened, as bad as it is, and I send my condolences to all the family, and I really do want to get out and try to help, man. Like I want to get out and try to help with debris or whatever I can. But I think it happened to bring us together. Because we have been divided. We've been divided since I've been alive. You know what I mean? I've never seen a united Albany. You know what I mean? And that goes whether it's musically or just living. You know what I mean? Real life. Like it's always been division here, and I think now with people coming together trying to help, like hopefully we can keep this going. You know what I mean? And I hate that bad stuff has to happen to make people come together, but that's just the way it goes. But I don't know God's plan, but I do know that we coming together, and that's always a good thing.
Okay.
Right.
And I can't, you know what I'm saying? I understand where they coming from. They like, he trying to tell us something, we need to wake up. I understand where they coming from, because I mean, life's short, man. Like people be beefing and mad and dissing each other over nothing. And I'm like, man, you gotta realize you don't know when your last day is. You have no idea.
Right.
You know what I mean? Do you really want to die bitter? Do you really want to die mad at somebody because they said something about you? Like, think about that. Like, do you want, like, you know what I mean? Like, man, there's more important stuff going on, and this is showing us that.
Right.
This is showing us that.
Right. It's a like you said, it's a positive message in everything, whether it's good or bad. All right. So then, have you ever heard of HARP?
Mm-hmm.
All right. So not everybody's heard of HARP, and if you're just listening, I'm not talking about ARP, AARP. I'm talking about HARP, HAARP.
Not with the little, angel in them.
A little instrument.
Little Cupid. Nah, we ain't talking about no harp.
Right.
Nah, I'm talking about something totally different.
Right, but for those listeners who don't know what HARP is a U.S. military defense program that stands for High Frequency Active Oral Research Program. All right. Um, and they deal in weather modification for electromagnetic warfare. All right, so this is said to be our military defense system's secret weapon, right? So they're able to, using natural storms and skies, they're able to throw in some technology and amplify it and generate tsunamis and earthquakes and hurricanes and tornadoes. Even being able to, just being able to disrupt and disengage global communication, period. So what about those people who feel like HARP has something to do with this recent events of, storms? Because like Chris said, he said this system swept the south and headed up towards the coast.
I mean, if you noticed it, like it did like a total sweep of the coastal region. Like it came up kind of through the Gulf, and then it kind of just swept across Florida, and then calmly and neatly just went right on up the coastline, just tearing up everything. Like it just seems too perfect of a storm. Perfect storm. They made a movie about that, right? The perfect storm. Like, I mean, you got to think that some of this stuff has some kind of merit, man. I'm just gonna throw that out there. Conspiracy theorists.
Until the conspiracy theory is
proven
fact.
Correct.
Right.
But I mean, think of it like this, though. I mean, this is modern medicine, modern science, modern marvels. Men love to marvel at their own creations. What makes you think that these people aren't out experimenting with this type of stuff? Experimenting with the weather, experimenting how to grow food. I mean, I'm sure y'all have heard of make food. I'm sure y'all have heard about scientific,
right?
Yeah, I'm sure y'all have heard about scientific methods and new technologies being explored in order to do these types of things. As far as the food and the weather and the medicine. You know what I mean? Like, what is so far fetched about this theory that scientists have somehow come up with a way to manipulate the weather? I mean, it's only electricity. It's only energy. It's I mean, it's ways to manipulate that, right? Right. I mean, you put a disease in a test tube. I mean, I can make a bolt of lightning.
Smallpox in the lightning.
Yeah.
Hold on. Hey, caller, you're on with Voices.
Hey, what's up? This Sizzle.
Hey, what's up, Sizzle?
Hey, what's going on? I just called in, speak on the HARP, and it's no conspiracy. It's a real organization.
It's a real organization, yeah.
Program going on in America.
They have a base in Alaska.
Yeah, if you want the coordinates, it's 62 degrees, 23, 26, 27 north, 145 degrees, 48.03 west.
I mean, he got it down to the.
Yeah, he got it.
Brother that did his research.
Yeah, but it's a secluded base that they do research with in Alaska.
Station, that's 61 degrees, 15 and 49.79 north, 149 degrees, 51.03 west. And you can look that up on Google Maps. Anytime you can pull up the actual location of the base.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so what, you got a question?
Nah, I just think he might know the coordinates to my house. He might know that. He might need to get that from him.
Right. Okay. So I have a question for him though. All right, Sizzle. So being that you hold these coordinates, right? So how do you feel about HARP? In our current situation, do you feel like this was truly all natural disaster? Because we know like tornadoes, earthquakes, tsunamis, those are things that naturally happen. But do you feel like this particular event was one that was altered to do more destruction in more areas during this particular point in time?
It probably was this actual event probably when it probably wasn't an orchestrated event, but between, like, if you keep manipulating the atmosphere so long, you're gonna get these broke.
Mm-hmm.
Like Hurricane Matthew, I would say that was an orchestrated event because if you go back and watch the radar image, it's gonna the hurricane comes up and hits the U.S. coast, and then it turns around in a complete circle and hits it again. Like it doesn't like usually tropical storm it hits land and then when it dies out over land.
Like
right. With Katrina. So, but this one hit land and it kind of bounced off like a tennis ball and turned around in the middle of the ocean and hit us again. So between all that, like it's gonna have rogue events like this from them manipulating the weather all the time. Like
probably why I've been
hot and cold.
Right.
It's winter time you can 78-degree weather.
78-degree weather. Like, almost 80 degrees.
So like that.
It didn't used to be like that. It wasn't like that 15, 20 years ago.
Man gonna learn by playing God, man.
Yeah.
I mean the last tornado we just had, if you paid attention, it was storming, and then like 3 o'clock the sun came out.
It did. I was standing outside playing catch at 3 o'clock. I was.
And then all of a sudden it got back dark.
When the so-called tornado came.
Right.
So that's how the whole weaponized weather works. So
right.
The hot air when the air hot, and it's easier to manipulate it.
Okay, so while we got you on the phone, Sizzle, I think this is another question I was gonna give it to Joe Henson, but I'm gonna throw it at you real quick and he can chime in. So, they're saying, when we got hit early part of January that Trump wasn't even in office yet, but Obama was still in office technically, and they say that Obama wouldn't offer aid after the first hit. But now we've gotten this second hit right after, this inauguration takes place. And Trump, they say Trump calls Deal. Deal didn't call Trump, to offer aid to Georgia. So how do you feel about that part?
It's a red state, so you're going to see that. And then they talking about sending FEMA. So, like, anytime they send a FEMA, that's not a good look. I mean, they say they're for the people, but it's not really, for the people.
I mean, it's a government organization, so at the end of the day, it's a lot of politics and, bureaucracy. They can, so.
Let's say you don't get, say we don't get that that people think we should get.
Right.
And then you have civil unrest, then you already have, that can allow them to impose things like martial law, and then you can turn a FEMA camp into a concentration camp. So that's not really a good look.
Wow. You know what? I appreciate you calling in, Sizzle, because I'm pretty sure a lot of our listeners just learned a lot. Whether it was about HARP or about FEMA and the different resources. So, I appreciate you calling, and I appreciate you tuning in and listening as always. We appreciate that.
All right, y'all can go Google that, and y'all can actually Google the patents they got on tornadoes and hurricanes and earthquakes they got. So all that, the information available.
Yeah.
It's like how far you want to dig.
Yeah.
All right. Appreciate that, King. You have a blessed one.
You just put me on stuff. Appreciate that. As far as I go, as far as the Obama and the Trump thing goes, like, I just realized it's all about pulling the strings. You know what I mean? And the president don't really have pull like that.
Right.
So really, I never really look at the president. Like,
right.
When something go down or don't go down for that matter, like if they don't
somebody else behind it.
It's like I can't even fault you, man. You just got a bad job.
Right.
You know what I mean? You the fall guy. You know what I mean? If you do something good, people gonna give it to you because you the people we see. But if you do something bad, even if it ain't you, you know what I mean? If
you still the face.
You just carrying out orders. But it's like, so with that said, I can't speak on Obama and Trump, but I do know the people that's really in power, they don't care about it. They don't care about nobody.
No, but themselves, right?
They care about their family. They trying to keep their royal bloodline alive. You know what I'm saying?
Generational wealth is what we call it.
Exactly.
Or in our case, it's generational curses.
This been going on like way before modern civilization. Like this has been going on since like the beginning of time.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And on different levels, but this been going on.
All right. You know what? I have to agree. And what I'm gonna say, Southwest Georgia is, and those listening, go look it up. Do your research. Like you said, again, that's HAARP, HARP. And FEMA is FEMA. Go look it up. The planetary lockdown is the documentary that you'll want to watch from the Heart man, who is an ex actual engineer for HARP, and he's telling you the inside.
They already trying to download the human consciousness into like
a robot, to a computer.
Like when you dead, they wanna bring bicentennial man to real life.
Right.
When you die, we gonna take your subconscious. And if they going that far, why wouldn't they mess with the world?
Right. If they put it in a movie, don't think they'll try to bring it to life.
You gotta understand the people in power, they play God. They be playing God, man.
Yeah.
They want to be. It's like they got a God complex.
They want to live forever.
Yeah. Right.
You know, like that type of thing. You know.
But that's what's ruining the world.
It is.
Like in every aspect, that's what's ruining the world, man. Like we humans, we should be being humans.
Right.
Human being.
To be human.
You know what I'm saying?
Point blank. Period.
Like my brothers say, we just human beings being human. Like shout out to my brother, but like that's real. You know what I mean? But when you try to play God, and that's the thing about power. Like when you give corrupt people power, they don't know how to stay in their lane. Yeah. You know what I mean? And we dealing with that on so many levels.
Right. Hey, Southwest Georgia, don't you go anywhere. You stay tuned because we're going to go and take a quick music break, but then we'll be right back to bring you more from Voices, all right, with valuable opportunities and inspired collaborations to elevate society. Hey, check out this track while we're at it from my boy, Mr. Jo3 like anime, all right?
Eat that cake.
Flood maps. What?
Eat that cake.
For real, man.
Anime. And sing how I told you to sing now.
Right. After you mass record, do it, save it.
Yeah, you got that extension cord.
Whatever works.
You say what?
When I stopped it, I mass record, does it save it?
Yeah, extension cord.
Okay. Brother Chris Rapley said, "You're talented. Your performances are amazing, especially with a live band."
Oh, Chris, yeah.
Appreciate that, man. Shout out to Chris Rapley and Rapco, man.
Rapco Media.
Him and Stacey on big. I just hope the city really get behind it. You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah.
Like for real. Like we got to start getting behind stuff, man. Everybody needs support.
Yeah, they do. Rika her shout out when we come back. Got that out the way. That. Oh. Commercial break.
Like man, when this song finished, it's an announcement I want to make about the album so bad, but I can't do it right now. But man, when this song, because I got some stuff I gotta get together first before I make the announcement. But the album, man. Like this song is this ain't really, it's mixed, but it ain't mixed. Like it ain't gonna sound like this. It's gonna sound better. It's gonna sound better. But this is just the version that I put out. Did you see the video?
I did.
The video, like, we'll talk about it.
I don't know. Was the butterfly? I know the butterfly wasn't even the focus of the video, but I just followed this butterfly on this little journey, and it was like, no, this is about the butterfly. I was like, I'm drawn to the butterfly because it was like the butterfly was like always in the right points at the right time, like with certain stuff that caught my attention. So I just followed the butterfly. It was like,
that's funny.
Cause I don't know. I'm just weird. Like, cause it was like seeing all of this from the butterfly's perspective. You know what I'm saying? Like, cause he was right there in whatever it was there in every moment. It was like,
that's crazy. I didn't even notice that. I promise you, I did.
Yeah.
I didn't even notice that. That's what's up.
Come on, Chris. Hey, Southwest Georgia, we are back. That was like Anime by Mr. Jo3 himself, all right? And it's interesting because, you know, when we were getting this together and I was listening to it, he I was telling him that I liked that song. He was like, yeah, you know, I wanted to do a love song, but I didn't want to do a typical love song. So he put his own twist on love song, and I have to say I like it. And you really have to listen to it, you know, because it's telling a story. Like, shout out to Pillsbury Doughboy. Like he says, like that's what it's supposed to do, tell a story, like from beginning to end. And it's something, whether you know what anime is or not, after you listen to it, it's like, oh, like the cartoons. For those of you that don't know what anime is, right? So animations, but you know, and just even following him on Facebook, it's like love is one of those constants. You know, he's always talking about the love factor, and not always in a romantic sense, but just like we were talking about before, just a love for each other, and you know, mankind, and being able to get past ourselves, or to get into ourselves enough to be able to love us, to be able to love somebody else. So can you tell us a little bit about this song and just that love factor that you're always talking about?
I can use it. I can do both. I can kill two birds with one stone.
All right.
Like anime, like you said, it's a story. If you're familiar with Naruto or Avatar: The Last Airbender, when you hear the song, you already know the story.
Right.
You know the character roles they played in each other's lives. But I wanted to sum up my romantic experiences in life, especially my current one with my current girlfriend. Like, I wanted to speak on it in a way that translates to a different crowd. I just want to do something different. But in the song, like there's a part where I say I love you like, let me see, I love you like what's the dude now with Naruto? Sasuke. You know what I'm saying? She loved me like Sasuke and all of this, and I'm talking about how I'm cursed with power, and then I go into Naruto and how with Hinata I can be Hokage. And what I'm saying is, there were times when I couldn't love the way that I should have loved because I was so driven with my ambition. And it's certain stuff that I didn't do that I could have did and should have did. You know what I'm saying? That's the Sasuke part. It's like very ambitious out taking over the Leaf Village. This is just for the people that get it. The Hokage part, you know what I mean? Hokage in the Leaf Village, like that's the highest of high. That's like the president.
Right.
And I'm saying with this person, I can be my best. You know what I'm saying? I can achieve my dreams and be at my highest level with this person. And that's something we gotta realize with love. Like when it's love in it, you can reach that potential. But when it's lust, which ain't necessarily sex, but a lot of times it's just selfish desire, you'll never reach it. You'll never get it. You'll never get to the plateau of what your life can be until you discover love. You know what I'm saying? Like on the album, the second song is Found Love.
It is.
That's for a reason. The first song is like the thesis statement. That's the thesis. I'm just summing up everything real quick. Like, it start with love because that's when your real journey starts. You know what I'm saying? When you really find love in yourself, that's when you really truly begin living. Everything before then, you just drifting to me. You know what I'm saying? Because like everything come from either love or fear. So in the song, I'm really just talking about the duality of different ways of loving. You know what I mean? And just being with somebody that fulfill you in a way. But when it comes to love, man, I just be trying to get people to understand love is selfless. You know what I'm saying? Like, and people there's no such thing as selfish love. It just ain't no such thing. You know what I'm saying? No matter how you try to manipulate it and bend it, love is selfless. The Bible teaches that. Like, all the religious books that I've read teaches that if you really pay attention to what it's saying. Like, love is selfless. And that's the beautiful thing about the tornado, because it's making people love each other. You know what I mean? Like, I could be at the crib chilling. I got lights, but guess what I'm finna do? I'm finna help you. You know what I'm saying? I got clothes. You don't, but guess what I'm finna do? Give you some clothes. That's love.
Right.
That's love. You know what I'm saying? That's way more love than just going to the club with your homeboy because y'all got common interests. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And buying him a drink,
Yeah,
that's love.
like people think
Right.
people confuse the inconvenience that come with love, which is hurt. You know what I'm saying? As like a bad thing, but in all actuality, man, how can you love somebody that can't even hurt you? You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, yeah, because they can't hurt you because you don't invest nothing. But you invest in what you love.
Right.
And I just be trying to get people to understand the root of everything, the foundation of everything is love or fear. When you strip everything down, real talk, what's going on in the country is happening because their foundation is fear. Their root is fear, not love, fear. They feel that, you know what, if we don't control everything, we gonna lose it. You know what I'm saying?
They're gonna rise up.
You know what I'm saying? They feel like, man, if black
up,
people really realize what they got and can do and the power. I look at the world, I look at this whole world. Well, I'll say the country. It's a dice. It's a dice. Dice all white with black dots. But if you didn't have the black dots, you can't even play a game. You know what I'm saying?
It's just a little cube.
You know, overall is white, but it's the little spots of dots that really matter.
Make it
right.
important, yeah.
That's black folks in America. You know what I'm saying? We make that run. We make that run, but we don't see that. You know what I mean? And it's like they did a very good job brainwashing us. Oh my goodness, boy, I give them kudos for that. Boy, they pulled.
They did a magnificent job.
They pulled the greatest mind ever. You know what I'm saying? Like ever. It took me so much to say mind because I am a sailor. But for real though, like, and it's just because they lack love. Mm-hmm. But like, man, I haven't found many issues between people, if any issues, that can't be resolved if you just learn how to love people. But you can't love nobody till you love yourself.
Most definitely.
And you got to reprogram your mind to do that, because in school we've been taught how to not love ourselves, to be all the way real. Right. You know what I'm saying? Like,
so honestly, let me ask you this then. So honestly, you know, just being realistic.
Let go.
We got to do it. You got to be realistic. So after a few weeks have passed and, you know, the lights have come back on around Albany and everybody seems to be doing okay, do you honestly think that this
is going to continue?
Love will continue, man? Because honestly, I'm a bit skeptical, you know, because, you know, I hate to say it, but
it's convenient,
but, you know,
right?
It's convenient, you know, and a lot of people are opportunists, you know, and so.
Or what?
Opportunists.
Ooh.
You know, they just want to, you know, do it for a few likes on Facebook. You know, they ain't gonna say it. You know, they'll get mad at you if you accuse them of it. But, you know, I mean, it ain't hard to tell. You know, so.
We know who would that the first time.
I mean? Like, yeah, so with that being said, how do you see this really playing out, you know?
I mean, honestly, I know we gonna go right back to the regular program. But at the same time, though, I think people that are being helped in the situation, they won't. I think they won't go back to the regular if they're open enough to let God in. Because, and I say God because if it's love, it's God. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? And right now, we watching two sides of the coin. You know what I'm saying? It's like playing Get Like Me. Like we just flipping a coin and you it's two sides of a coin. We seeing the bad, which is also God, and we seeing the good, which is also God. You know what I'm saying?
Balance.
Heads is worth just as much as tails. It's the same coin.
Yeah.
You know, it's a quarter either way. But it's like the people that's being helped, if they open, and even if they third eye open, they can see like the lessons in it. They can see the lessons in the stressing and the lessons in the blessing. You know what I'm saying? They can see all that. And if they can open up and allow themselves to see that, it'll change their thought process. Because it's probably people that's real prideful. I don't know exactly who it is, but I just know they were affected for a reason. You know what I mean? And I ain't been doing them, but just thanking God, like, man, two storms didn't happen, man, and we weren't affected at all.
Right.
Like, me and my girl in our crib, we weren't affected at all. And that make me feel good, but it make me feel bad to see people who work. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I think the people that was affected, I think the people that was affected are gonna be probably affected for the rest of their lives by this.
They will.
Right.
In their mind and heart. I hope it's positive.
Right.
I hope they don't let this make them better. I hope it make them better.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Because I was going to say, again, like, you know, even when we were hit the first time, there were a lot of shelters, Samaritan centers, people giving and doing then, and people, like, we know you're displaced. We know you don't have power, but you're not coming to the shelter. You know, you're not coming to get this. You're not coming to get that. You're not asking for this assistance or that. And it's like, you got to get outside of yourself again and be, even in that case, and say, okay, I'm going to love myself selflessly to be able to get out of my ego and let my pride go and get this assistance, because you know how our people are. Like, you'd rather stay in a bust up house with no power, cold, hungry, than to go and stay in a shelter for a night, get you a hot meal, be able to shower, keep warm, you know. So it's all of those things, and I just want my people to like realize that sometimes we need help. It's okay. You know what I'm saying? This isn't one of those welfare handouts where it's something they want you to receive to trap you, but you'll go out and you'll get that knowing that you're gonna be forever indebted to these people off of their quote unquote free assistance, but they stripping your life to be able to have it, then to go and receive what you really need. You know what I'm saying? So that whole situation, you know, and even talking about this, it brings me to another point that we've talked about, you know, and the current, you know, me and you before we got on air. And right now I'm pretty, you know, we talked about depression and how serious that is. And even in this situation that we're facing now, how it could land some people in a state of depression. And that depression could be the reason why they aren't going to get those, you know, the assistance or the help that they need, because they just aren't able to cope, or those people who already had those mental health issues laying dormant, you know, and this was that one situation or event to just take them overboard. So, you know, I read a post where you talked about, you know, a recent bout with depression. So if you would, for the people, you know, just explain what that looked like for you, and, you know, why it's important that we as a community and as individuals, you know, take it serious.
Well, for me, when I battle with my depressions, like, I'm not a person that get depressed often. You know what I'm saying? It take a lot of blows to get me down. You know what I mean? I ain't been counted out yet, but it take a lot of blows, and it just builds up. You know what I mean?
Right.
And one thing about depression I've learned is if you dispose of your negative energy that you deal with in everyday life in a healthy way, you'll never really get depressed. I feel like depression comes from a whole lot of negative suppressed feelings that you just gotta take an emotional dump. You just gotta get it out of you. You know what I mean? But if you don't do that, it builds up, and when it builds up, it pops the bubble. You know what I'm saying? It just breaks. And depression hard, because depression, that little light at the end of the tunnel, it go black. and you don't see nothing. You know what I'm saying? You don't see your way out. You don't see where you are. You don't see where you come from. You look around and it's like your eyes closed. Because in a lot of ways they are. You know what I mean? Like, depression is a very dark place. But I will also say depression is a blessing. I will definitely say it, man, because for every time I battled depression, I always came out better. I don't let stuff make me better. You know what I mean? And you just gotta be strong. You gotta be rooted in faith in something, no matter what your name for it is. But you gotta be spiritually
no
rooted.
What you call it.
Yeah, because we be arguing over names like we ain't talking about the same thing. And I'm just like, come on, bro, for real.
If that ain't the realest,
for real, we finna argue over names.
Yeah,
for real.
Really though.
Like, and that's what it boils down
for
to.
me. For me, it's like Allen Iverson, like practice, bro. Practice.
Yeah.
We talking about practice.
What are we talking about?
Exactly, like names. Yeah. But it's just,
and that's a good example though to give, because they, even in that, they took it and turned it into something horrible. Like, somebody's listening to this now and they're gonna be, oh, it's more than a name. Did y'all hit them over there? They was talking about it's just a name.
Opposites attract.
Right.
I just said, I'm talking about something positive.
Right.
So it's going to breed negativity.
Yeah.
Opposites attract. I already know it. I look forward to it now. Because I know every time I say something positive or do something positive and somebody finds some way to twist it and make it negative, I realize, okay, that's the devil, which means if the devil came, that means God allowed it to come. So God allowed it to come, then God already know I can handle it, and it's a test. So I'm like, I usually pass my tests in school.
Right.
I just straight out of ISS and come take the test my first day back and pass it. Like,
right.
I'm that student. That one. If I cared to take it.
Right.
If I was at school too, I still like. But now though, you know what I'm saying? Just being real.
But he was there sometime because I saw him when I was there.
Yeah. I ain't really start skipping school real heavy until like 11.
Because I saw him when I was there. When
I was there, I started bucking. I started bucking real bad.
Then lunchtime and all of that, right?
but yeah, like, you just gotta be rooted in your faith, man. And you gotta know, and this is something that's really become clear to me. You gotta know for every moment you experience that's really bad, that's really dark, you gotta know, man, it's an opposite. It's the other side of the coin. Right, yeah. You know what I mean? When you in it, all you can see is where you're at. But if anytime you going through something, you gotta know, 100% guaranteed, there is pleasure afterwards. You got pain, then you got pleasure. You got pleasure, then you got pain. And that is the cycle of life. So if we just focused on the next phase, instead of focusing on this phase, depression is a lot easier to battle now. But you got people too who got stuff like anxiety, and that's different. You know what I mean? Because anxiety makes you blow a lot of stuff up that ain't that big. You know what I mean? And and that take medicine. I mean, a lot of this stuff take medicine, but mental health is real. And I just be trying to bring that to people attention, like. And for those who get depressed, ain't nothing wrong with you.
No.
Man. Oh no, it's not. It's no. Yeah, I was just talking to my girl about that this morning, man. Nothing wrong with you, but I'm gonna tell you what the world do on some programming too. And this ain't the government exactly. This is just people being people. People make you feel like something's wrong with you being perfectly normal, and that ain't cool, dog. Like, you got people out here who have like certain thoughts that's not necessarily good, or certain issues or whatever, and they scared to talk about it because they scared to be judged. But the same people that'll judge you for it dealing with it. And it's like, man, we gotta know and understand, like, man, we all had the same battle. Some people might have mental conditions that I might not have. I might have stuff that they might have, whatever. But at the end of the day, we all fighting, we all struggling. And we all just doing the best we can every day we touch the floor, man, to just make it happen and to do what we can do with our lives, with what we got. You know what I'm saying? But we can't outcast people because we feel like they got something we don't suffer from. Because you might suffer from it and not know it. You know what I'm saying? Your kids might suffer from it. You might have somebody in your family suffer from it. Like, we just gotta understand. Y'all watch Empire. Y'all know what he's talking about. Like, they playing it out in the big screens, but that's real everyday life.
We just gotta realize,
grandma, son,
like, we can't assume that everybody is wired the way we're wired, or everybody wired the way we think they should be wired. People are battling with stuff that we don't know about. With J. Cole. J. Cole referenced W.I.C.E.S and False Prophets. And I like the song, but as a man, I couldn't respect it. That's the only song J. Cole ever did that I can't respect and stand
Yeah, I heard that too.
But the reason why, like, he don't know what Kanye dealing with. he don't really know. You know what I'm saying? Like Kanye might have, you know what I'm saying, some issue, but he referenced Wale, and Wale responded with a track and let it be known like, I'm fighting bipolar, dog. I'm fighting bipolar disorder. You know what I'm saying? So like that, to me, that changed the whole conversation. Like for real, you talking about somebody and how they dealing with their struggle, but you don't even know how deep they struggle is.
Right.
That's why you just gotta be careful with your.
What is on? You don't know my struggle, so you can't feel my hustle.
Yeah,
like
you
get up off me.
Like I speak my opinion and I share my thoughts. But one thing I really don't do, despite popular belief, maybe I don't judge people. I can't judge nobody. Like I can't say you're a bad person, you going to hell, or whatever. And and even when I state my opinion sometime about something that I don't really vibe with somebody,
that's what it is.
It's difficult to do for me because it's like I don't know everything you battling with. You know what I mean? I might say it just to try to just give you some info that you might be missing because sometimes you be blind yourself. But it's just, people battling with stuff, man. We just gotta support people and love people, man, and try to understand each other. We just gotta do that.
Most definitely. Hey, Southwest Georgia. Man, that's a lot to take in. So no, it's not. It's not at all.
Not bad.
But in the most,
it's just that we
do.
That's what we
for real, because mental health, whether it's depression or any other diagnosis, is something that I feel we as a community do not take serious enough. And like he said, we're always, and I'm saying we as a collective are always quick to judge or, like he said, outcast somebody without actually knowing what's going on with that person. So if we treated everybody as if they were us, then we wouldn't have to worry about those things because we're going to make sure that we're looking out for their best interests. Just like, I don't know Kia, but I promise, like, if I see Kia next year, I'm gonna be like, hey, I know you from somewhere. Like, oh, that's what it is. Like, what? Like, everything good. Like, I don't have to see you every day, but at the end of the day, like, the thing is to make sure that our people are straight, because we don't know what they're going through. We don't know what their situation is, what they're battling. So be mindful of that. We're gonna listen to What If I. Alright? Yeah. Another one from Mr. Jo3 H3nson. Y'all stay tuned, alright? This is V.O.I.C.E.S. What I do?
That's real though, man. That's so real to me. Like, man, people don't be knowing what folks be dealing with, man.
Alright, so this is what's gonna happen. We're gonna finish the conversation because I still want to talk about L.A.M.E. It's just not gonna be recorded for the actual show because our time up for the actual show. As far as our recording time, but we can still do the rest of the discussion on air. I just can't record it.
Okay, that's cool. That's cool. And I'm gonna have the part where I can be like my shameless plug, right?
Yeah.
Okay. The shameless plug, but don't nobody want to do it, but you gotta do it.
Oh, you could have been. Some people just doing. They don't even ask.
Yeah. Like for me, I like talking. You know what I'm saying? More than promoting.
Right.
Promoting, I don't know. I don't even like how I feel to promote, really.
Right.
Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, but I have to because I'm trying to get the message out. But,
right.
But I be really wanting to talk and connect and share viewpoints with people. You know what I mean? And what we talking about way more important than folk knowing what my Instagram is.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So, and then too, I can always put that in the video. But I just want to know if we're gonna have a little time to do that because I really want. I know I want to talk about L.A.M.E. Definitely want to talk about L.A.M.E. I ain't gotta go too deep, but it's certain stuff I want to share about L.A.M.E.
All right, that's cool. Yeah.
What's up?
Oh no, I was just.
I need one of them hats.
Oh shoot, I got some in the car, man. I ain't got no more of these.
Cool. Use your Wi-Fi. I mean, if you don't pick the rough.
I seen them rustic joints though. The little rustic looking joints, the little like vintage.
Yeah, the distress looking kind of, I got some of them, Cause they just did this like as a sample.
Mm-hmm.
A sample run, you know what I'm saying?
Who did it?
Bears? Right there by the bowling alley?
Which one? Now the one on the west side. I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, on the west side, right by the bowling alley.
I'm gonna have to get some else get that.
He did a
Rika.
job.
Man, boy, they came
Stay woke.
perfect.
Hey, shout out to Rika Darn B, y'all. Onyx Wealth Management. Hey, check out the free 4-week personal finance course, all right? You can register at rikadarnb.com/411, all right? By the way, the personal finance word of the day is brokerage. What is brokerage? A firm that provides access to the stock markets, all right? So check Rika Darn B out. Go follow on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, all of that good stuff for your financial needs, all right? Once again, personal finance word of the day, brokerage, a firm that allows you access to the stock market. But better than that, Rika Darn B is allowing you access to a free 4-week personal finance course. Check her out. www.rikadarnb.com/411. Money Talks.
Brokerage.
All right.
It makes me think about broke or rich.
All right, y'all ready? Hey, Southwest Georgia. You're back with Voices on WUTU 88.3, bringing you the best in community
and old school classics.
That's right.
Yeah.
I'm Nexus. And today we are joined in the studio with Jo3 H3nson. All right. Before we finish up this discussion, one quick announcement. Onyx Wealth Management is bringing you a free 4-week personal finance course, all right? You can go and register at www.rikadarnb.com/411. All right, once again, that's a free 4-week course on personal finance. Everything from savings, investing, spending, budgeting, just helping you get your money right. Go register at www.rikadarnb.com/411. All right. Oh, she also brings us our personal finance word of the day. Today it's brokerage. All right. So what is a brokerage? It is a firm that provides access to the stock market. We're all about building black wealth, y'all. So make sure you go check it out.
Dollar bills, y'all.
Yeah. All right. So before we went to break, Jo3 H3nson broke it down quite plain and simple as to why depression is real, why it's something for us as a community and as a people to take serious, all right? Yeah. However, before he gets out of here, because we talked about love, which is a constant, spirituality, which is a constant, now a little bit about L.A.M.E. For those of you who don't know, L.A.M.E. is the movement, and he's gonna break down the acronym of L.A.M.E. I like acronyms. So, we're gonna let him explain to you what L.A.M.E. is, how it came about, and why we do that.
All right. L.A.M.E. is an acronym that means living as me every day. I would love to say that I was the cool kid that came up with it, but I was not. My homie Keith Carnell Willis, shout out to Keith, man, one of the smartest individuals I know, but intelligent individuals I know. But he came up with an acronym. We was recording for my project Food for Thought I dropped, and I don't even know what made him mention it, but he said it, and when he said it, I was like, hey, you using that? Because, he was over my house to record vocals on the song, but he ain't an artist. So I was like, using that song? He was like, no, man, no. I was like, hey, man, I want to name my album that. This was 2011 or 2012, I want to say. One of the two. And he was like, yeah, man, you can use it. I was like, because, dog, I think that right there is something the world needs to be familiar with. Like, just that acronym. Because everything about me musically and what I represent, I want to challenge people's minds. You know what I'm saying? I want to make you think. I want to make you think. I want to make you think about yourself and the world around you. So part of me doing that, and a big part of me doing that, is going against the grain. Yeah. When you hear L.A.M.E, you automatically think something negative. You think, okay, weak, or you think just something that just ain't cool. But I want to make it cool. I want to make what's L.A.M.E cool, because it's nowadays it's not cool to be who you are. It's cool to flex and put it on. You know what I mean? And I hate to say it, but that's just what it is. You know what I'm saying? We idolize rappers. You know what I'm saying? Like we idolize.
You know what it is.
We love the hype.
Be real, man.
We like people like man, my brother Sean J. I know what's going on. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm not just on looking at the TV. Like I know what it is. You know what I'm saying? Like it's just I know how the game go, but it's like I just want to take everything that's deemed lame, which really should be cool in my opinion. Like being yourself, like what else could you be?
What's better than that?
What's better than being you?
Right, and it's funny that you were saying that though, because I was just sitting here thinking like, I always thought lame people were cool. Like,
me too,
bro, you lame? Like,
me too.
As a term of what they say, endearment, but it was like, you so lame. Like, I always thought being lame, I guess because I was lame, I thought lame was cool.
You were never lame to me.
Right,
I never thought you was lame.
Right.
But see, that's me.
Right.
The people that I was really cool with and kicked it with, they weren't the cool kids.
Right.
I had some of the cool kids that rock with me. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But the people that I gravitated to and hung out with was never popular.
Right.
And then too, I'm a nerd.
Yeah, right.
I'm just a cool nerd. But I'm a nerd now. That's why I made like anime. That's the sole reason I made like anime, because it was like I could do a regular love song, but I wanna show a different side of my character, my personality. Right. I like anime.
Right.
It might make me a nerd or lame to you, and that's perfectly fine. I don't care. But at the end of the day, though, I just want to show like ain't nothing wrong with that. You know, especially because as a black person, as a black dude, you get looked at real bad for liking anime. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like you like Yu-Gi-Oh? You play with Yu-Gi-Oh cards?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? If that's what that man want to do,
Dragon Ball
if that's what he want to do, let that man do that. I just binge watched I don't know what out of Dragon Ball Super. She said Dragon Ball Z, and I was like, damn, I need to go home and watch that. But like, you know, you like what you like, you are who you are.
Right.
There's nothing wrong with that. You know what I mean? But L.A.M.E is just a movement about embracing who you are, and not just the good parts. Because that's a problem too. Like people just want to hang on to the good parts, and we gonna hide the bad. No, your bad is that's just as good. That's tails. That's tails on the coin. Your good is head on the coin. Your bad don't take away from your worth. You know what I'm saying? So like,
but like you said, if you can't accept that part of you, then it's not you still aren't accepting you.
Yep.
Because that helps to make you who you are.
If you don't love yourself,
right?
You know what I mean? You cannot love yourself
if you hate any part of you.
If you can't embrace your bad,
right?
I'm just saying.
Whether you feel like it's your hair,
and then this the thing,
whatever, right?
This the crazy thing, and this is why I love when the Bible say treat people how you want to be treated. Because if you can't accept your bad, how you gonna accept somebody else's bad?
Somebody else's right.
How many good partners and relationships you threw away because they weren't perfect? Because they weren't perfect. You know what I'm saying? Like now, some studs you're like, nah, I gotta hit next on this one. But at the same time though. You gotta treat people how you want to be treated, and L.A.M.E is just really about embracing who you are, good and bad. That's why the album is so personal. I'm sharing stuff on that album that the average person ain't sharing, and I'm saying stuff on that album that
the average person doesn't even know how to share, man.
Right?
Yeah. Because that's real though. Because at the end of the day, we're programmed to hide. We're programmed to hide. Like you know what I mean? Like that's why I love people who are comfortable with their flaws. You know what I'm saying? Like Cat Williams said something that's funny, but it's real though. When I like Cat Williams. That's my favorite comedian.
Right. And people be throwing so much salt on Cat. It's just ridiculous. But that's
that
guy.
They always throw salt at people who really genuine.
Yeah,
they do. Really who you are. It's like people hate that.
Look at how they did Dave Chappelle,
right. And how they doing Orlando Brown right now? Like.
Nah, I ain't gonna lie. Orlando Brown, that boy wired different. But I respect
about
respect and love what he's doing because he don't care what nobody thinks.
Right.
And really, it's like, man, outside of your real circle, the people that's there for you when something pop off,
don't nobody else matter.
Those that mind don't matter. Those that matter don't mind
at all.
But lame, like I'm talking about my battle with God, like being mad at God. At like a point in time in my life when my faith was real shaky, like I'm mad at you, like for real. You know what I'm saying? I wasn't spiritually enlightened like I am now then,
right.
but. And I could have just completely been like, well, that was something I knew. Those were my thoughts. I'm just going to hide that. Like, no, people, because it's people dealing with that.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like,
because I told you on a couple of, I was like, oh, I could relate. Like, it made me go back and really be like, whoa, you know, you need to reevaluate this experience and just think about certain stuff. Like, because
that's the whole point.
Anybody can, honestly, if you're a human being, like he said, being human, you can relate to the album because it speaks to some part of you at some point in time, like regardless.
Ain't that exactly what I be, man? That's exactly what I be saying. I want the album. Like, I tried to sum up consciously. I went into the album with this thought process. I want to sum up life between the ages of 16 and I'll say 45.
Well,
I wanted to sum up life, like everything that I know you'll experience, like the general stuff. Now, you decided to get a coke habit.
You ain't got enough for that.
But like the general things we experience, you know what I mean? Like the phases when you're ambitious and you're driven and you want to be something, whatever that something is. Okay, then the struggle of trying to be that, but what you're currently doing for a living, you are not happy with. You know what I'm saying? Like you go to work every day thinking like, man, my potential's so much bigger than what I'm doing right now. You know what I'm saying? Finding how to love yourself, deciding to love yourself. You know what I'm saying? That's something everybody gotta learn. And if you don't learn it, you're gonna die an unhappy soul. You know what I'm saying? You gotta just embrace yourself. Brought this on myself. The moment in your life when you just really realize like the hand you played in your misfortune. You know what I'm saying? Like, dog, like. I got mad at this person and I felt some kind of way about this person, but truth be told, man, I allowed this to happen. You know what I mean? Just, I try to sum up the life experience, man. Because, I mean, how can I name an album pretty much living as me every day without taking you through my life?
Right.
And I could have went very deep. But I wanted to keep it on a spiritual level because I feel like that's what we need now.
Mm-hmm.
But there is a version of L.A.M.E that will be released. That's autobiographical, and that's the one where I'm going real deep. Like I'm letting a lot out the closet on that one. It's a lot of those skeletons I'm finna pull out on that one. But it's a time and place for you.
I ain't reloaded.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's a time and place for it, man.
Most definitely. All right. So lastly, before we get out of here, you know, when I first met you, it was like middle school, maybe. You were living like in Lockett Station. We were living in the creek. And man, let me tell y'all, we were crazy kids. Like we didn't just, and that's why he was like, I didn't think you were lame. But we didn't just do street football. You know, we didn't just do tag and play basketball or whatever. We used to have wrestling tournaments.
Me and Willie Moore, man.
Like wrestling tournaments, and that thing got so bad to the point. I remember Carlo come through the neighborhood one day with his belt, and I'm like, "What is going on?" He was like, "No, we y'all wanna be champs? Like we gonna fight for the belt? Like we really like
the belt.
Raw, WWE, like WCW, like that was our thing back then, and it like we brought that thing to the neighborhood, like." Hood wrestling.
Shout out to my man.
Yeah, man. I'm talking about Stone Cold Stunner in the ditch.
Right. Like in the ditch. And we had a little crowd, like everybody waiting around watching. It was like the thing, and it'd be like, where Carlo at today with the belt? Like
you ain't gonna take my belt from me, dog.
Right.
First of all, I bought this belt from Toys R Us with my dad and mother. Then the first belt I had, it was a back brace that my brother Arvon had from a
and
job.
He had to decorate.
I put tape on it, spray painted it, and man, I was like, but see, I'm glad she brought this up because that tells you something about me. I've always been imaginative. I always
Right.
been creative.
Yeah.
And I always just wanted to bring my visions to life. And then too, like, man, I just like having fun, man. That was fun.
Man, it was. That was like,
to me.
like honestly, like I had like a lot of bad. I wouldn't even necessarily call them bad experience, but I had been through like we hadn't been through a whole lot by the time we moved to Indian Creek.
Mm-hmm.
So that was like a whole rebirth, like on some what do you call it when they put the people in hiding?
What, refugee?
No. You know when they take the people and they supposed to put them in hiding, protective cut, yeah,
Okay, yeah.
that. So that was like one. I ain't never been in protective custody, but that's just how it felt though. Like this was our life started over. You know what I'm saying? Like we had to start our lives over, and yeah, right. And so those people and those experiences were like real critical. So all of that stuff, I remember like bike ganging it round the creek, like
Halloween.
What?
You remember how Halloween used to be so turned up?
What?
Knocking and ringing on four doorbells,
Man.
just striking out running by 16 people.
Good times.
Do you remember when Horace
And yes,
was it Dan that fought?
Somebody fought.
They fought at Halloween, man. Them boys
What?
playing about 5-6
Right
rounds.
there in Tears Them Yard.
Yeah.
Like I remember that.
Them boys did about 6 rounds. They had to take a break in the middle
Right.
of the fight.
And
Right.
every
in
and
New York.
yes,
Right in New York.
and we honestly know this is the one. Like everybody's like
Nobody
this is
finna
a
jump
fair
first.
fight.
Yeah, they fell.
Ain't
Them
no
boys
jumping.
swung it out too.
They did.
I
They
gained
did.
respect for her because me and Horace was kind of cool. Me and Horace had a shaky relationship, but I gained respect for Horace that night. I was
Right, because
okay.
he did.
Okay.
He held his
Okay.
own. And I was like, his cousin them gonna jump in. Like, but now everybody just let them do their thing. Like
But that go back to what I was saying, like I'm a nerd. You know what I'm saying? Like I grew up, and it's crazy because it's just a lot of duality in my character because I was doing that, but at the same time, I was writing. Then at one point I was recording music and doing all of that and had girls liking me because I can rap and yada yada yada. But then at the same time now I was really into girls, so I go wrestle and do all that. But trust and believe, I'm gonna go home, shower, and try to find me something to get into. You know what I'm saying? Like I like for real, like it's just But it's just I don't know, man. I was wired different. You know what I mean? Shout out to my dude Willie Moore, man. Like Willie is my dude. Like he doing his thing musically too up in Savannah, man. Shout out to Dennis No Joke Jones.
What Bowleg?
You know what I'm saying? Like Dennis my dude, man. I've been talking to Dennis. Dennis had a near-death experience, man, in a car accident. And he was in a dark spot for a second, man. But Dennis came out. You know what I mean? Dennis is a strong dude.
Yeah,
too.
very
You know
much
what I'm saying?
so.
Very strong and very smart.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I got a lot of love for Dennis, man. Really, everybody.
Shout out to the Creek in the lot.
Shout out to Indian Creek, Logging Station, Carriage Lane, my dude.
Winterwood. Shout out to y'all.
Like man,
Bull.
that
Squeeze
was,
it.
and just like you, like before we moved out there, before we moved in Logging Station, we got evicted. You know what I'm saying? Like we were going through stuff too, so I knew what you mean when it's like, dog, man, like it's like we was in protective custody, but we came, it's a fresh start. But man, I love those times. Like they so close to my heart, and then joking on the bus. Oh my goodness.
Wow, what them roast sessions used to be off the chain.
I'm still proud of shifting the bus. Because I remember when I first started riding the bus at Westover, all the cool kids sat in the back and all the so-called nerds sat in the front because they weren't cool enough. By the time, I want to say, the middle of 10th grade, all the cool kids sat up in the front, all the nerds sat in the back with me where I was roasting everybody. But I always joked on the so-called cool folks.
Oh my goodness, you just made me think about something on the bus.
I always joke on the so-called cool folk because like we gotta flip the script, man. How they ain't cool enough to sit in the back? Well,
okay, this is the last one. Were you on the bus today that like we had a sub and Pat like mooned the cars behind us?
I think I do remember that.
Oh my goodness, like this man, yes.
That was
straight.
That's just nasty.
Yeah.
What is he doing?
No, this might have still been at Merritt Acres. This might have still been at Merritt Acres. Like we might have still been in middle school, but like straight moon act. No, like in the cars just lined up behind the bus, and he just butt on glass. I'm like, bruh, what are you?
Bro, what are you doing?
That's funny, man.
Just bad. We used to do crazy stuff, but look where we are now. That's the beauty in it all. You know what I'm saying? Like, those things help to make us who we are. And those connections, those people, I wouldn't trade them for the world.
Yeah, really. No doubt. I thank God for everybody. I didn't came in contact with.
Most definitely.
Especially the good folk. And it was a lot of good people I was around at that point.
Yeah. So, Jo Henson, you got anything you want to leave the people with in closing?
Yeah, real quick, man. With L.A.M.E, I ain't got a date for it yet. I just know it's coming soon. I'm just waiting to get it mixed and mastered. But there will be a contest for L.A.M.E. When I put the songs out, they will not be in order. Whoever, outside of the people who hear it first. I'm sorry, but y'all already disqualified. But then we'll see how that goes. But whoever is the first person to either put it in order, but whether you send it to the email, send it to the website, or like tag me on Facebook with the order, whoever get at me with the order and with the songs in correct order first, $100 cash for the first person to do that. $100 cash. Now I ain't trying to do no check and all that. We just cold cash. You can do whatever you want to do with it. Probably buy your sack, whatever you like. But yeah,
right. And then you gotta come be a guest on Voices and give us feedback on the album. How about that?
Yeah. So it is gonna be a contest. You say what?
How many tracks gonna be?
It's gonna be 14 tracks. It's gonna be 14 tracks because 14 is the number of deliverance. So it's gonna be 14 tracks but 16 songs. You know what I'm saying? Because this album is about deliverance. You know what I'm saying? Like Jo Henson, that's JOEHENSON. But you know, it's threes. When you try 3 or E, you're gonna find me either way around it. But Mr. Jo Henson, man, and it's official too. The name is Mr. Jo Henson. Mr. Okay. You know what I mean? No. Mr. Johnson. You know what I'm saying? Right. Because everything about me about growth. So all I want to say, and I'm gonna leave out this note, man. Grow. Everybody listening, continue to grow. Continue to push. Continue to fight. Stay stable. Stable don't mean you ain't gonna never get shaky. Stable means you ain't gonna let nothing move you. Don't let nothing move you. You know what I mean? When the devil try you on a daily basis, which it will, keep grounded, keep rooted, man. Treat people how you want to be treated. Love people. I love y'all. Y'all be safe. Help somebody, whoever, just help somebody on a daily basis. Y'all be good.
What you got for him, cuz?
Oh man, yo, as usual, man, you know the man Jo Henson came in here and just, you know, dropped nothing but knowledge, love, you know, prosperity, all that good stuff. You know what I mean? Like, and that's why I like Jo. You know what I mean? You know, ever since he came on, you know, see the vision and did the interview over there. You know, and even before that, like. I just kind of knew it was something different about how you always like they know it's just something different about him. You know what I mean? Like it's a different cloth when you talk to him. You know his whole, you know his whole track or train of thought. It's just something that's fresh and that we really need. You know, especially in music. Yeah. You know what I mean? Especially in music.
That's why I'm here, man.
You know what I mean? Like I'm just glad that he feels like it's important enough to him, you know, to even continue on and keep it up, you know, because a lot of people might have lost steam by now and just kind of felt like,
I've been doing it 20 years.
You know what I mean? Like, yeah.
I didn't the past 3 years of battling depression, I done quit by 3-4 times in my mind.
Right, in your mind.
Every time, though, something tell me.
Just keep going. Yeah, keep going, man. Yeah, people appreciate you, man. I appreciate you.
Shout out to Peel, man.
Yeah, Peel.
Silence of the fans.
And I meant to say something about that, too, when we was kind of talking about the music thing, man. I was like, yo, you know, shout out to Pills. Yo, I love you, cuz. But, yo, them features that you did, man, those features, yo, like, they kind of, like, took over songs, you know, but like Pills will admit that though, and he will admit that he got you on the album for that. Like that's what he wanted. Like he knew that's what you were capable. He knew that's what you were capable of. That's what he wanted on the album. Like your whole perspective, you know what I mean? Your whole thought, you know, your whole vibe. Like that's what he wanted. And yo,
you can't have stuff with Pills,
man. Yeah.
Pills is literally the only person in the city that if I get on the song with you, I know I gotta bring it.
You gotta bring it.
You can't slip up with Pills, man. That boy lethal.
Yeah, like
that boy lethal.
Hold on. Can we run that back again?
He don't get.
Yeah, he don't get the love he deserves.
Right. Yeah. But I mean, it is what it is. He making them move. He known.
Yeah.
But he just don't get that love and support. Yeah. Shout out to Pillsbury. Y'all get the silence of the fans, man. If I'm correct, it's on iTunes, Spotify. I think he got it on a whole bunch of stuff now.
CD Baby.
Yeah. So like it's on Amazon and all that.
Amazon, yeah.
So y'all get that silence of the fans, man. Support Pillsbury. Support whoever you like and love music around here.
Most definitely.
Right, man. Support one another, man. That's like the biggest message I think we could take away from this whole thing.
Most definitely.
Support one another, man. Like, in good times and in bad times.
Exactly.
Not just when they up. You know what I mean? Because that's too easy.
Mm-hmm.
That's way too easy.
Yeah.
And that happens way too often.
Yeah.
And it gets on my nerves when I see that happen. Like when you get up, you're like, oh yeah, I remember when you was cool. Yeah, man. Yeah, man. No, man. Exactly. Now support me right now, man. Don't come up to me talking about you're still doing your little music, your little bit. No, I'm still doing my thing.
My little thing.
You still ain't support?
Yeah, you still ain't support, right? Okay. You know what I mean? Like, come on, man.
But it's cool though. It's cool.
Southwest Georgia. It's been real.
It has been.
As always, this is Voices where valuable opportunities inspire collaborations to elevate society. Hey, here at Voices, we do exactly that. Educate and elevate society to new and higher heights. If you didn't take anything else away from this, then remember, support those who support you. All right? And never be bitter. Always be better. Exactly. It's Nexus.
Cousin Chris
and our man Jo3 H3nson.
Before we get out of here, folks, cuz I want you to do the people one more favor. I want you to give them those drop-off points one more time.
Oh, no doubt.
To make the donations, you know what I mean, in the midst of everything that's going on. Make that announcement one more time.
All right, no doubt. So, people taking donations 24 hours. We have Black and Mario Meadows at Platinum Sound Studios at 523 West Broad Avenue.
Right downtown on Broad.
We also have Sand Trap 5.0 located on Radium Springs Drive take donations. And we have Pastor Carl White and his members taking donations at Friendship located at 400 Pine Avenue. Yes. Also, if you are in need of shelter or know someone in need of shelter, the Albany Civic Center is our Red Cross shelter location, and we have other Good Samaritan locations set up. We have New Birth Fellowship Christian Center also on Radium. We have Albany First United Methodist. Again, we have Friendship located at 400 Pine Avenue. And we have New Seasons and Raleigh White Baptist Church located on Phillip Drive. All right. So, hey, we have locations, we have places, we have resources. Be sure to take advantage of them, or let somebody you know who is unable to get to them know, so that they can be able to take advantage of them as well. And I don't mean take advantage just because you want to take advantage, but take advantage because you need the advantage. All right? Hey.
I went down there at the Sand Trap getting free food, and you know your lights on too, man. And I bet with some of y'all down there.
Really?
And if I'm talking to you, I'm talking to you. Believe that. For real, man.
Hey, well, maybe I ain't even gonna say that. Southwest Georgia, it's been real. We out. Hey, coming to you again. This is brought this on myself. We gonna close out the same way we started out, in peace and love, y'all. This is Jo3 H3nson. Brought it on myself.
Better with some of them out there. Yeah. Don't want to go down.
Greed, man.
Oh, they got it.
They been paying the Sand Trap for years. They owed them a meal.
Or 12.
Right. They owe them a meal in a bottle.
Go and get some of them wings.
I'm broke right now, man. I ain't got no money, boy. If I had some money, boy,
you don't even need money, though. That's the whole thing.
Because I've been seeing on Facebook folks talking about they need like clothes and shoes and all this other stuff, and I'm like, man, I ain't really got Like if I had the money, I could just buy some stuff that they need.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But the clothes we do have, we can do that. Because I was just talking to my dad about going to the homeless shelter with it.
Don't go to the homeless shelter unless they giving it away.
They don't give it away at the homeless shelter all the time?
Not all the time.
But see, I ain't trying to give it to nobody who trying to make some money.
Now the Albany Rescue Mission, they do give it away, and whatever they can't give away, like the access they places like Salvation Army, unless you specifically tell them to give it away. Number to the station, we gone now.